I'm going to keep this super, super, super short. This is just, and I hate to do this because I'm such not a hater of things. I am the easiest critic. I am so fair when it comes to movies. I always can look past things. I can always, give people their day in court and really pay attention to like all the little nuances and the things they were trying for. Like, I don't care if a film tries really hard and fails as long as I see that they tried hard. But I just saw the Dark Tower movie. I'm a big fan of the books, and I patiently waited. I literally checked on the production of this movie for 10 years. Like every week for like 10 years. I watched it go from J.J. Abrams to Ron Howard and, this TV season, movie thing that they were planning. And I was like, oh, this is going to be so cool. And I thought, and then like once they started making casting, decisions and releasing that, and then like especially when the movie was supposed to come out in a couple months and then they pushed it back like 3 months and then they wouldn't show it to critics, I knew I was fucked. I knew it. I didn't want to admit it to myself because I wanted it so badly. I was so excited for it. And it came out last week, 1 week ago, and I couldn't go. I couldn't do it. My friends had seen it, a couple of my friends, and I'd read some reviews, and they were just all so bad. But there was like some good, like, oh, at least there's this, and I think that so I was like, all right, I went in and I had like super ultra mega low expectations. I was like, all right, I get it. Like, it's not like the books a lot, and it's gonna, at least maybe it'll have some like good action, or who knows. This movie was horrible. Horrible. I'm not talking about the adaptation at all. That was fucking horrendous too. Don't get me wrong. This movie had nothing to do with Stephen King's Dark Tower. This was like a shitty sci-fi wannabe action movie that had Dark Tower references kind of just sprinkled in here and there. I was sitting there the entire time, and as I said, I usually am like, all right, whatever. But I was like furious the whole time. Like, I waited 10 fucking years. You had J.J. Abrams attached. You had incredible talent attached, and this is what you decided on? This is finally what you greenlit? This is finally what you gave us? Like, after 10 fucking years of jerking our chain and making us wait and teasing us and constantly announcing new possible in development. This movie is what I get, what we get. Like, this reminds me of something like Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park is an excellent film. It doesn't follow the book almost at all. Now, I didn't read the book before I saw it, but I have read the book since. And now maybe I'd feel differently if I had read it before. I was a huge fan of it and I was waiting for it to come out. Maybe, but probably not. I can forgive Jurassic Park for being so drastically different from the book because it's an excellent movie. If The Dark Tower was at least a good movie, I would have been like, well, at least they made a good movie. Not only did they not adapt the fucking thing, but they made a shitty film in addition to that. It's like unforgivable in any way. If you're going to change it so drastically, you better have a vision of what's amazing. Like, okay, we should maybe follow the books, but man, I have this incredible idea. I have this incredible idea that's so amazing that it's going to make this incredible film. And it's not like they tried something new and it was really cool idea and it just failed. No, it's just miserable on all levels. It really is. I'm not just being a hurt fanboy who's bitching about this and that. Matthew McConaughey is just awful in this movie. I love Matthew McConaughey. I thought Interstellar was like the greatest movie I ever saw when I saw it. I think Idris Elba is wonderful. I think he's a wonderful talent. Everything he's ever been in, I thought he was amazing. I thought the kid playing Jake Chambers did an incredible job in this movie. I thought that he played that character very well, but they were given nothing to work with. The action was so boring, so unimagined. They like took little quips from the book and then threw in all these little Stephen King nuggets. Like they showed a picture of the Overlook Hotel and they showed Pennywise the dancing clown in the abandoned fucking theme park, and there was a whole bunch of them, and Christine was in there, and Cujo, and they had all these little nuggets like, oh, like wink wink to the fans. Wink wink to us? Fuck you. How about you wink wink to us with a better movie? How about you wink wink to us with a fucking proper adaptation, making us wait 10 years and then ignoring the source material completely and giving us a shitty movie on top of it? Like, fuck that and fuck you. That is such a bullshit thing to do. Like, I'm sorry, man. I don't like to bitch, but fuck you. And this has ran way too long, but seriously, I don't know if Stephen King signed off on this. I'm a huge Stephen King fan, but man, I don't know. He lets a lot of shitty adaptations happen. Now, as I said, I don't know how much creative control. You'd think with $500 million in the bank and, the ability to say yay or nay, I would think he would have he's a big name, obviously. He's the most famous author pretty much of all time. You would think he'd be able to be like, nah, we're not gonna, I read the script, it's shit. Now, granted, Stephen King does not know film. He thinks that, Kubrick's movie's a piece of shit, and he directed Maximum Overdrive. So he clearly doesn't understand film at all. I get that Stephen King's Shining wasn't much like his book, but yet again, there's a perfect example. That's even a better example because it's Stephen King. The Shining is drastically different. I'm wearing a Shining shirt. That movie is very, very different. It doesn't have anything to do with the boiler and, the hedge animals, and it throws in a random maze, and the house doesn't blow up there's so many things that have been changed. But it is a classic, amazing film. I've seen it fucking 100 times, literally. I love The Shining. So I can forgive the fact that it changed a lot of shit. But The Dark Tower, fuck you.